Alrighty, Bo, I know you successfully launched Paycheck to Freedom, which was an Amazon bestseller. A little birdie just told me you are working on a super secret project that goes by the name Broke at the Finish Line. Somebody told me that you've got another book in the process and we might see this thing land in the next 60 days. Is that true? Is that the right title? And if all of that, why Broke at the Finish Line?
Well, the Broke at the Finish Line is really kind of it was really based on the triangle method, like a more in-depth version, but I changed the name because I realized like the reason we're talking about the triangle method is because after reviewing thousands of loan applications over the last 28 years and financial statements, seeing a lot of people who make really good money, their financial statements don't show anything. They are basically might have a little bit of liquidity and maybe a little bit of a 401k. The middle class is screwed unless you take action. Like I truly believe if you stop and think about it, that vision of me at 80 years old working out a checker at Walmart, a lot of people are going to be put in that situation. I just got I checked my social security, you know, they send you those random emails and I'm like, whatever it's going to be. I haven't really, you know, I've been self-employed most of my life, so I haven't probably paid in as much.
Yeah, it's probably not a lot in there.
Yeah, but let's just say 20 years from now, or when I'm 70, there's $3,200 a month coming in, and you know that's money. Don't get me wrong, but in 20 years, what's $3,200 a month going to actually do? Nothing.
Nothing. No.
Right. Yeah. So with inflation, with Social Security, potentially, who knows what will happen with Social Security? That's really the premise of all of what we do, both you and I, and is to help people take action because we have to do something.
Yeah, the reason I like Broke at the Finish Line is because I've learned something. Now, I mean, I can go back 20 years when I was selling software, and I was one of few people in the world that took 3 ideas and turned it into 9-figure businesses. I did that 3 times and was paid very well for it. But the reason I bring that up is the reason I was good at that is because I focused almost entirely on trying to create what I called light bulb moments. When you have this new idea and maybe it's, you know, never been tried before, or it's a new way of doing something that no one's thought of. And often that's what I was doing. I always thought about how can I go turn on the light in the room? Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. But if it's dark and the light's not on, people don't know it's there. So the reason I was so good at what I did for 20 years is that's all I did is a light bulb moment. I must have said it 1,000 times a month in go-to-market meetings and marketing and products and R&D and salespeople. I was like, dude, all I'm doing is trying to find light switches. But the reason I like Broke at the Finish Line is the title alone could be a light switch. Because whether you like it or not, if you're if you're in the matrix, and most of us are in the matrix, and you just keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be broke at the finish line. And as somebody who travels around the world several times a year, I see it all the time. I talk to people all the time. And I don't know what the percentage is, but it's ungodly high. It's probably upwards of 80% are going to be broke at the finish line. And you don't have to be, but you've got to turn the light on. In this book, this idea, the triangle method, what we do every week, it's going to be the light switch for a few people. And that's why we keep showing up.
Yeah. I mean, I started getting really into just general financial knowledge, meaning like different vehicles like life insurance and 401k and IRAs and self-directed, and looking at things holistically, right? Like we got to figure out what we have, what we're growing, what provides the best tax vehicles. You know, I got into the Rockefeller method and started listening to one of Garrett Gunderson's books, Nelson Nash, all these people. I'm constantly going, okay, what knowledge can I seek? What can I implement into my business? And what, like, ultimately, you know, when I go back and listen to Profit First book, like, you know, that makes sense. Money comes in, it gets allocated out first thing. Like if you have that discipline, That's what you have to, you need. And so the reason I love real estate is because once that down payment's out and that asset is bought, like you pretty much forget about it if it's a long-term rental. And
Right.
10 years down the road, as long as you're doing it the one rental way, which I didn't do when I was buying in Indiana, I thought that was probably not as easy because I couldn't go kick the tires that easy.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start buying these assets over time, appreciation happens, tax write-offs happen, mortgage pay down happens. And so we have to create a plan, and that's basically the triangle method is a plan, but the reality check is broke at the finish line. That's why the title changed to broke at the finish line, because like if you do the numbers of what you need to live, unless you have that cash flow coming in today, if you look, that's why originally I loved real estate, because the thought process was I didn't need to have, $5 million in 401ks, yada, 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 to get, you could leverage with mortgage debt and create a lot more cash flow with a lot less capital, right? I mean, that's really the basics of real estate, and why it works so well.
Yeah.
But we have to do something. And
well, the other thing that I love about the broke at the finish line and the fact that you're writing this book is so powerful, because again, you've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of individual financial statements. And you're kind of like, you're like a divorce lawyer, because you actually see what's going on, right? Most people just, oh, you got a nice car, you got a nice watch, you must be rich. No, you're looking at their financials, their income statements, their assets. And you're seeing that most people are broke and they have very little liquidity. I mean, how many times have you seen somebody come in who on paper, or at least via social media should be killing it, and they're living paycheck to paycheck? I bet you it's more than half the time. And that's because of the matrix, right? Consumer-based economy. We live for now. It's all instant gratification. It's all dopamine hit stuff. Nobody wants to sacrifice. Nobody wants to delay gratification. But damn it, if you want to get rich and you don't want to be broke at the finish line, you got to wake up. And that's why we got to go create some light switches and turn it on for folks. So I think your book's going to be just another light switch that hopefully turns the light on for some people.
I mean, if you do the math, and let's just say you have $1 million and you're getting 5% return, right? That's 50 grand a year.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like, can you live on 50 grand a year? Probably not.
It's right? A start.
It helps, but
yeah.
Like if you're making 250 right now and you're like, well, I got $1 million in my whatever retirement account.
Yeah.
If you actually like put it in basic numbers and conservative numbers, $2 million, which seems like a lot of money, it's only going to give you about 100 grand at 5%, right? So you got to look at your lifestyle and do an analysis. I was watching this guy, his name's Trent, and he's like he has a financial planning background, and he does this process where he takes people through just like what they're missing. And I was watching him break it down on a YouTube interview. And I was like, yeah, this is like, makes sense. Like, I don't think sometimes we put our mind into like what we actually need to be able to retire, like with a decent lifestyle. That's why you're seeing so many people move to other countries like Mexico and the Philippines and Thailand, because your dollar can
Vietnam,
at least leverage farther. But it's a rude awakening. I think we should all be doing this math. Like, what do I actually need?
I agree.
The advantage of a business ownership in real estate is that you can get that cash flow a lot easier than being able to save or invest to build $1 million, right? Like I can go out and buy one property that potentially gives me $5,000 a month in cash flow. It could be a multi-unit property, right? So you're not as far away as you think, but if you do the math, you do get humbled and you get scared because you're like, well,
you should get humbled and scared. It's called a light switch. We've got to slap people or kick them in the ass or scream in the face or whatever it takes for them to realize that what they are doing today is going to lead to a terrible outcome. That's why we do this. That's why we have this channel. That's why you're writing the book. And I can't wait to see what it is. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I don't know. I just got inspired and my business coach, actually, I was telling him about my book, and he's like, I like the triangle method, but I think you need to rename the book. And then I just came up with that name, and I was like, it really stuck because it is a light switch, right? We need that light switch.
Yep.
And we need light switches every day.
Absolutely.
To like, right? Like we get comfortable in our ways. And then when we stop and go like, I don't, like me today at 48, I work really hard. I hustle still, and I need to hustle still, right? I'm not where I want to, where I want to be from a financial standpoint. So, and I have a lot of things I want to do with, and I do pretty well. So if I know what I do and I know the constraints I have, if I was constrained to a $75,000 or $100,000 W-2, I would be out of, I wouldn't be a pretty.
Be a little stressed, huh? You can be a little stressed.
My life would, I wouldn't be able to go out to eat when I want to. I wouldn't be able to, have a brand new car. Like, I don't worry about money that way. But when the light bulb goes off and you think about broke at the finish line, then you start going, do I really need these things?
Yeah.
Like, am I better allocated spending my money or investing my money rather than doing a $500 dinner out in Vegas, right? Like where it's right. And so where would that $500 go to? And so I think understanding how money works is really the key to this all, and to understand that don't be comfortable, because at some point, unless you want to trade your time for money until you're 90, you have to create this plan, this triangle method. You have to show up, and I actually put an offer in on a bank owned on auction.com the other day.
Nice.
I haven't got it. I've been looking at real estate. I saw a property. I thought it would be a good deal. I unfortunately got outbid, but I wasn't too emotional.
You took a shot.
Right?
Yeah, you took a shot. Yeah. That's the
There's
key.
a lot of bank owns coming on the market right now. So I think it's a good time to get the triangle method really flowing.
There you go. Well, Bo, you're amazing. I appreciate you coming back each week. I hear great things when people come out and talk to you. Lots of people who have big W-2 jobs, may not be ready to really understand the broke at the finish line, but I suggest you reach out, have a conversation, 15 minutes. And they do that by going to the URL on the screen, right? onerentalmeeting.com. That's how they get 15 minutes with you.
That's correct.
All right, folks, give him a shout, onerentalmeeting.com. Thank him for coming in on the channel each and every week. I appreciate you, man. We'll talk again.
Thank you.
Awesome.